We're learning the Siddur HaRashash, Rabbeinu Shalom Sharabi, and from the manuscript of the Yoreh. The Yoreh wrote down Rabbi Sharabi's teachings of the Nar Shalom, and his book, and Rabbi Sharabi lived in the middle of the 18th century and contemporaneous with the Baal Shem Tov, a contemporary of the Baal Shem Tov, and the scribe and the Kabbalist who wrote this manuscript was also just like Rabbi Shalom Sharabi, he was also the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the Kabbalah of the Kabbalists of Beit in Jerusalem, and he lived in the middle of the beginning of the 19th century. So the one who wrote this down in this manuscript is the Rabbi Abulafia. We call him the Yoreh. He lived in a long time ago. So the seven, when we get up to the world of Bria, we're up in the world of Bria. We have the two blessings before we say the Shema. We're talking about Shacharit, every morning service. We ascend to the world of Bria in the blessings we say before the kriat Shema. We ascend through seven different chambers. So Sod and Malchut would be the Hecha Livnat Sapir, and that's when we say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Yotzer Or Uvarei Choshech. If you want to know how to say the blessing, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, I refer you to my earlier videos where I give an introduction to how to say the Chatimat HaBracha, the formulation of Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. And now you say, what are we blessing? Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who Yotzer Or Uvarei Choshech, who forms light and creates darkness. And this is according to Kabbalah. When we say this blessing, we're in the Heichal Livnat HaSapir, the chamber of the brick of sapphire. That's in the sphere of Yesod, and I believe also Malchut. So then when we get further in the blessing, when we start saying, El Baruch Gedol De'eh Hechin Fel Zoreh Chama, Zohoreh Chama, remember it's with two kamatz katan, Zohoreh, lo Zahareh. So El Baruch Gedol De'eh means the great, the blessed God, great in knowledge, etc. That's in the Heichal of Etzem Hashemayim in Hod. That's the chamber of the essence of heaven in Hod. The word is Livnat Sapir and Etzem Hashemayim are descriptions of when we receive the Torah at Mount Sinai. That's in so they have these are the Zohar refers to these as two chambers in spirituality. So these chambers are all in the world of Bria. You also have 7 chambers in Asiya. You have 7 chambers in Yetzira above Bria. That's in the Psuke de Zimra when we say the Psalms. Then we ascended now to the world of Bria when we're saying the kriat Shema with the blessings before and after the kriat Shema are in the world of Bria, the world of creation. So the 7 chambers in the world of creation are Livnat Sapir, Etzem Hashemayim, Noga, Ahava, Ratzon, and Kodesh Kodeshim. So we just had, did I say 7? Livnat Sapir was Yesod, Etzem Hashemayim is Hod, and we get to all the Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. When we join the angels, the choirs of the angels singing Kadosh, 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 that's in Hod, in Livnat Etzem Hashemayim. Then we get sent to Noga, which is in Netzach, that's the 3rd chamber. And we say Le'el Baruch Ni'imot Yitenu, and then the blessed God who grants pleasantness, pleasant things. And then when we go Hamachadesh, we finish the first blessing, Baruch Atah Hashem Yotzer Hamaorot, blessed is God who forms luminaries. That's going to be in, when we start that, saying Hamachadesh B'tuvo B'kol Yom Tamid Maaseh V'Reshit, that's in the Heichal of Zechut, or in Gevura. So the end, the final part of the blessing of Yotzer is in the Heichal of Zechut, the Heichal of merit, and that's in the sphere of Gevura. And then we jump up to, we ascend further in the next blessing, the blessing of the blessing God blesses his people Israel with love. That's the blessing we say just before the Kriyat Shema, and that's in the Heichal Ahava, the Heichal of Chesed. So we say Havat Olam Avtanu, in eternal love you have loved us, God. That is in the Heichal, the chamber of Ahava in Chesed, and that brings us to the Kriyat Shema. Just before the Kriyat Shema, we bless Baruch Atah Hashem, Hamavarech Ba'amo Yisrael Be'ahava. So now, I'm just going to read a little bit to introduce the what's going on. It says, Vayomer Kriyat Shema, Shehu Mitzvat Aseh B'dibor, Hu Yoter Chamor Umu'oleh Min HaYotzer. L'teken Pnimiut V'chitzoniut De Pnimiut De Bria. Pnimiut, again, Pnimiut V'chitzoniut De Pnimiut Bria, Upnimiut De Pnimiut De Yetzira Ve'asiya. Upnimiut De Chitzoniut V'chitzoniut De Pnimiut of Atzilut. So, what does that mean in English? And you say the Kriyat Shema, when we say the Kriyat Shema, we have in mind that we're doing God's commandment, we're working to God, fulfilling the law of saying the Shema. We have in mind that we're doing a mitzvah. And so some people even would make declarations at certain points that I'm now doing a mitzvah, hineni mukhan muzaman, I'm ready to do a mitzvah. Here we don't, because we're not going to say anything to separate between the blessing of blessing God, the people of Israel with love, and saying the Shema Yisrael. But we have we can use in our minds, it's not considered separating a separation if we think about the meaning of what we're doing. So we have in mind the kavanot. The most important kavanah is that we're doing a mitzvah, that God said to do this, and we're doing this. So it's a positive, and we use our speech. There's mitzvahs with thought, speech, and action. This is one with speech. So, and he says it's more stringent than the blessing of Yotzer, the blessing that came before. It's important, but the Kriyat Shema is more important. It's more chamor, and we're doing it in order to fix the inside and the outside of the world of Bria. Everything has an inside and an outside. You have your inner world and your outer world. With your thoughts and feelings inside of you, your emotions and your thoughts are inside, and on the outside, and then there's something even beyond the inside that. I guess the subconscious is the inside of the inside. In the parable of the human body and the physical world, which is a parable, and the above, and then you have the outside world, how you express yourself in the world, what you look like, what you do, your egos, and so forth. And if you can look what a real ego means, it's a buffer between your inside and your outside worlds. That's how you present yourself is called an ego. It doesn't necessarily mean arrogance. The original term, we're not discussing psychology though. So after the Kriyat Shema, we have a positive commandment to say the Kriyat Shema, and in terms of the world of Yetzirah, there's 4 worlds: Asiya, Yetzirah, Bria, and Atzilut. The lowest is the Asiya. Then above that is Yetzirah. That's the Psuke the Psuke de Zimra. We said the Psalms to prepare ourselves in the first part of the morning service is in Yetzirah, and now we're up in the world of Bria. After we say Baruch Hu, and we say the blessings before the Shema, and the blessing after Shema, we're in the world of Yetzirah. This is true not just for Shacharit in the morning service; it's also true for Aravit. When you say the blessings before the Shema at nighttime, we're also ascending in these 7 chambers in the blessings before the Shema, but it's on the level of Din more than the level of Rachamim. So anyhow, the Yotzer, we're fixing when we say in the world of what we're doing now is we're fixing the inside and the outside of the inside of Bria. But at the same time, we're fixing the inside of Yetzirah, because the inside below is like the outside above. That's the main principle. The inside of the world of Asiya is on the level of the outside of the world of Yetzirah above is like the inside of the world of Asiya below, and the same thing with Bria. So that's why we said we're fixing the inside of Yetzirah, because we're up in Bria, we're in the world of Bria, and the world of Bria is higher. So the external aspects of so basically the inside of Yetzirah would be the outside of the inside of Asiya. So if I said that right, please don't correct me. If I didn't, I'm sorry. So, and the Pnimiyut, and we're fixing, what about Atzilut, which is above? Atzilut above is higher than Bria, but we're also fixing a certain level of Atzilut. Atzilut in relation to Bria is the outside of Atzilut, is the inside of Bria. So here, right now, we're fixing the inside of the outside, and the outside of the inside of Atzilut, the highest world, the world of emanation. The world of God is one, and His name is one. He and His causations are one. He and His life are one. He and His name are one. But for the time being, we're still in the world of duality, albeit a lofty source of duality in the world of Bria, and that's where we say the Kriyat Shema.